organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV, spooky stereotypes. Where is the line between creative and offensive costumes?
And is President Mason a millionaire? We'll break down the numbers of her latest pay raise.
And in sports, disappointment in Kinnick as the Hawks drop their 4th of the year.
Daily Iowan TV starts now.
I'm Tom Brokaw. For more than 100 years now, the University of Iowa community has been waking up to the Daily Iowan. Today, it's the largest newsroom in eastern Iowa. And now you can see the news every night on Daily Iowan TV and get it anytime worldwide at dailyiowan.com.
Good evening, I'm Rebecca Hager.
And I'm Tasha Woods.
Creative costumes filled the Ped Mall this weekend. Many students dressed as cultural stereotypes, and some groups on campus didn't approve. I went out this Halloween as a camera woman and took a closer look at what types of costumes UI students are wearing. As college students celebrated Halloween, pictures like these surfaced the internet. Costumes of terrorists, blackface, even Trayvon Martin, the 17-year-old African-American student killed in early 2012 by George Zimmerman. In this photo, the man on the right is dressed as Zimmerman, and to pretend Martin is on the left. Black Student Union leader Anthony Ferguson is disgusted.
It's just completely disrespectful. It's completely disrespectful, to his family and to just people in general. For someone to dress up and pretend that there's someone, like, who would do that? We don't see that in any other culture, but when it comes to American society, we think it's okay to dress up and to make fun of other people.
And most would probably agree. This is crossing the line between funny and offensive. But for other, more subtle costumes, where is that line? People dressed as Indians, ninjas, stereotypical Mexicans, more stereotypical Mexicans, army men with exploding brains, hicks and hunters, women not wearing enough clothing, and even priests roam the Ped Mall. There were no painted black faces, but one student wore a mask.
My friend's, he's half-colored, so, I got a half-colored mask, and we're both half-colored.
People pretending to be black or what they perceive African-American culture to be, that's when it crosses the line for me.
And pretending to be Mexican, that crosses the line for Jess Padilla, who's heavily involved in a Latino group on campus.
It's feeding into the stereotype that all Mexicans look like that, and like with the donkey, and that's not real. Like, these are people's cultures, ethnicities. This isn't a costume.
So while it may be in good fun, think twice before you pretend to be someone you're not.
The University of Iowa is home to its very own chapter of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, or the NAACP. The organization started in October and hopes to educate the local community.
My hope is that we'll get things done. So actually making an effort to really connect Black students and the community, whether it's also African American adults or students and other non-Iowa students. And really just trying to push for education when it comes to politics and the economy.
The student organization is welcoming people of all races to join. Their first general body meeting is November 4th.
An Iowa City man is now pleading guilty to charges after he crashed his SUV into the Coral Ridge Mall last December. 24-year-old Joseph Moreno pled guilty to charges including drunk driving and reckless use of a firearm. Police say he was found sleeping in Shields after crashing through the front doors. Moreno will be sentenced on January 6th.
President Sally Mason's salary nearly doubled last year, jumping from a little less than $500,000 to nearly $1 million a year. The UI estimates tuition is a little over $8,000 for undergraduate and in-state students. To put it into perspective, that means Mason's salary last year could pay for nearly 120 students' tuition. The average pay for a public university president is about $4,500,000, according to CNN. The raise is a result of a one-time increase after being president for 5 years. This made Mason the 5th highest paid public employee in Iowa.
Hormel Foods might be growing in Iowa. Dubuque is offering $4 million in benefits if Hormel agrees to expand in the city. The benefits include tax breaks. The expansion would create 100 new jobs and 2 new production lines.
But now let's take a look at the weather. Now that it's officially November, should we be expecting any big changes? Eric?
Thanks, guys. No big changes yet, but get ready for chilly temperatures and rainy fall days this week. But first, let's talk about tomorrow. The morning will start off in the mid-40s with wind and cloudy skies. In the afternoon, however, we'll see almost 60-degree temperatures and partly cloudy skies. But by Monday night, the temps sink back down to the lower 50s. And as we look to the rest of the week, expect a little rain and a little sun. On Tuesday, we'll see the lower 50s with a 30% chance of showers. And those rain chances continue into Wednesday with temperatures in the upper 40s. But on a brighter note, Thursday and Friday will be sunnier. Thursday will bring clear skies and temps in the mid-40s, while Friday will have a few clouds, but the temperature jumps to the mid-50s. The weekend continues that trend with partly cloudy skies and temps in the mid-50s. Well, that's all I have for weather today. Back to you guys at the desk.
The Food and Drug Administration is now stepping in to help protect your pets. Over the years, many animals have died from contaminated animal food. The FDA is now regulating the production of pet food and animal feed to prevent any more deaths. Animal food from places other than the U.S., such as China, seem to be a major source of the contaminated food. Since the FDA has better control of food production in the U.S., some pet owners and pet stores have turned to using only American-made products. Here in Iowa City, Petland provides food from only the U.S. and Canada.
We've not had any issues with any pets eating the dog foods that we carry here, adversely affecting them in any recall way type fashion. So it's really safe food, and it's the higher quality food. So it's kind of one of those things, you get what you paid for.
And from healthy animals to healthy humans, we've got it covered on today's show.
Our own Brianna Jett is standing by with the latest Medical Minute. Brianna?
Hey guys, welcome to today's edition of Medical Minute. We've got a lot to talk about today, so let's get right to it. Well, the numbers are in, and it looks like the 1-year-old Iowa River Landing Clinic is bringing in business to the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics. Total visits to the UIHC have risen this year, an increase of about 5%. However, total visits to the main hospital have decreased now that patients can use the Iowa River Landing Clinic. A little over 27,000 patients visited this new clinic this year. In other news, the CDC just released a report that said the number of malaria cases in the U.S. have reached a 40-year high. Malaria is transmitted by mosquito bite, although most of the cases were acquired outside of the country. The CDC encourages all travelers to take steps to prevent infection, including the simple use of bug repellent. Monday may be the day to quit smoking, or at least plan to. Researchers found that more people search Google for quitting smoking tips on Monday than on any other day. The least common day to look for quitting help is Saturday. So if you're looking to start your week afresh, you're not alone. Well, that's all I have for this week's edition of Medical Minute, so back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Brianna. Now let's take a look at what's happening outside of Iowa. A gunman entered the LAX airport on Friday, shooting and killing a TSA officer. 3 others were wounded. The suspect was shot in the face and remains in the hospital. Although his motive is unknown at this time, investigators found a note detailing his intent to kill TSA employees.
2 French journalists were shot and killed in Mali Saturday after being kidnapped by armed men. Ghislaine Dupont, who was 51, and Claude Verlan, who was 58, were both in Mali on assignment. It is unclear who is responsible for the killings. It was a tough loss for Hawkeyes this weekend.
Pretty good game through, but the Badgers just too much for the hometown Hawks.
For more on everything black and gold, let's toss it over to our own Mary LaPlaca with more. Mary?
Definitely a disappointing loss for the Hawks and Kinnick this weekend, guys. Daily Iowan TV Sports' Josh Bolander was there and has the highlights. Josh?
Jake Rudock and the 5-3 Iowa Hawkeyes welcoming in the nation's 8th best ground game and the 24th ranked Wisconsin Badgers to Kinnick Stadium Saturday afternoon. We picked this one up early second quarter. Iowa already up a field goal when quarterback Jake Rudock finds sophomore Tavon Smith over the middle Pass good for 17 yards and a first down. Very next play, the shovel pass to tailback turn receiver Damon Bullock all the way down to the Badgers' 17-yard line, but the Wisconsin defense would hold the Hawks to a Mike Meyer 22-yard field goal, 6-0, black and gold. Wisconsin regroups. Wisconsin responds. Joel Stave finds Jacob Pedersen down the middle of the field just before the half for this 44-yard pitch and catch, part of a huge day for the senior tight end. Badgers back on top going into the break, 7-6. Field position battle for most of the third quarter, and it would pay off for the visitors. Drew Meyer's 48-yard punt is down at the 1-yard line. Jake Rudock intercepted and hurt on the ensuing play, and Jared Aberderis would make the Hawks pay. 20-yard touchdown reception on the first play after the turnover, 14-6 Badgers. Rudock out, C.J. Beathard in, and the backup would get some early help from running back Jordan Canzeri in the third quarter. His long run would set up another Mike Meyer field goal, but Beathard would go 4 for 16 the rest of the way, including this interception that would lead to another Wisconsin touchdown. The Badgers would tack on one more score late. The Heartland Trophy stays in Madison. Final score in this one, Wisconsin 28, Iowa 9.
Disappointment on the gridiron, excitement and anticipation on the hardwood this year for Fran McCaffrey's Iowa Hawkeyes. The black and gold are coming off with a 25-win season that included an NIT championship game berth last campaign. And the Hawks' head man isn't settling for anything less this go-around. McCaffrey spoke late last week in Chicago for the Big Ten's annual media day and stated exactly that.
Very optimistic about this year's team, recognize the position we're in, and welcome the challenge. I've not had a team in my entire career that is this deep. I think we have to make sure that we're able to rotate personnel in a way that maximizes our effectiveness, but I think we have a great level of maturity on this team, and we're really looking forward to it.
McCaffrey not the only coach in the Windy City, high on the Hawks coming into the brand new season. Michigan State head coaching legend Tom Izzo full of praise for the black and gold as well.
In some sort of way, I think it's going to be better. I think what's happened is our teams, like in Iowa, I don't want to single Franny out, but might as well put some fresh pressure on him. But, those teams are teams that weren't as good the last couple of years are getting better.
High expectations falling on individual Hawkeyes as well, most notably star guard Devin Marble, who has left off both Team USA rosters over the summer and more recently, the preseason all Big Ten player selections.
I don't think we're complacent. I don't think we're in a position to be complacent, to be honest. We're not a team that goes to the NCAA tournament every year. I think even those teams, I don't think get complacent either because they want to see how far they can go. So for us, complacent isn't even an option, to be honest. So we're playing hard, and we're just going to have to continue to grow as a team as the season goes on.
As expected, Marble and company taking care of business in this afternoon in Carver, taking down Augustana College, 87-65 in Carver Hawkeye Arena. Aaron White led the way for the Hawks in this one, tailing 16 points and grabbing 3 rebounds. Lisa's Bluter's Brunch also starting off the year on the right foot, taking down Concordia 92-68 earlier this afternoon. Highly touted freshman Allie Distroff poured in 13 for the Hawks. Melissa Dixon chipped in with 18 points on 6 of 8 shooting, and Bethany Doolittle led the team in scoring with 20 points. Unfortunately, that is all the time we have for today, but be sure to tune back in tomorrow for everything you need to know back in black and gold. Back to you at the desk.
Only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak peek in tomorrow's edition of the Daily Iowan.
Read about the return of tree huggers to Iowa City's downtown area.
And take a look at a new class that will combine the classics and math departments.
That's your latest edition of Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to check us out at the same time tomorrow or anytime online at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great night.